Hello, this is USAF CAPN 73rd, and today I'm going to be talking to you about, I guess, my airsoft history or my airsoft background. And hopefully you might be able to relate to this as an airsofter. So, for me, it began a really long time ago, and it was my first game. So basically what it was four people, yes, four people playing, and someone had a probably like 100, 200 FPS AEG that scared the piss out of me at the time, and the rest of us were using Springer pistols. And that's basically how the first game was. It was kind of interesting because it was my first exposure to airsoft. Beforehand, I'd been playing really crappy first-person shooter games, and from that point on, I was like, you know what? I think I want to get more into the whole shooting thing. So I got Modern Warfare 1, and I started playing and I loved it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so badass. Maybe I should get an airsoft gun. Something small, like a spring-powered gun. Because I only know, like, 2 or 3 people who were playing at the time. So, I got what ended up happening was, for Christmas, I got a Dick's Sporting Goods gun, but it was like a 300 FPS plastic M4. Now, some of you might be like, oh my god, it probably broke right away. Actually, it lasted me a year or two, surprisingly. The battery, however, did not last that long because I didn't treat it well. But, in that, for a little while, it was like backyard games, and then my cousin my cousin got an airsoft gun too, but his was like, I don't know, another 300 FPS Dick's Sporting Goods type airsoft gun. Uh, so basically, he said he had a group of friends from his school that played, and my cousin didn't lived only 20 minutes away, and he said, "Oh yeah, you should play with my friends. Come out sometime. I'll take you." So we went to play a game. I took out my M16, and we all had fun. We were all using like Springer. We were pretty much all using like Dick's Sporting Good or Walmart type guns. And we had fun doing it for like a little while and stuff. And then eventually some of us decided that, hey, look, we really like doing this. We're at the same time, we're also like, Modern Warfare 2 is coming out, so we were like, hey, let's go play Modern Warfare 2 and then maybe play some Airsoft. And eventually we started increasing and buying like more legitimate guns, like, uh, and my first legitimate, like field ready airsoft gun was an AKS 74, and it was made by D Boys, and it rocked. Like, it was awesome. A little while before, my friend got a CYMA CMA, whatever the hell you want to call it, M14, and that thing was kind of fun. But at the time, also, I was finally learning like more about Russian stuff, and I was just starting to pick up on the language. So I decided to get an AKS 74. Um, and I did that. I played with that thing for about a year or two. Eventually, I began to notice that I mean, it was a great gun. It was very solid. Uh, I was able to outshoot a lot of other players. Um, and then eventually, other people started getting more and more expensive guns and parts and stuff. My friend upgraded his gun, his M14. Another friend of mine who I was playing with ended up getting uh, a Magpul Masada, the ACR from I don't remember what store, but he spent a lot of money, pre-ordered it, and it was just awesome. Everyone loved it. Now at this point, I was beginning to look at more serious airsoft stuff, and the group of friends that we played with, it was fun, but we were beginning to get bored with it because not a lot of people who were playing uh, were either quitting or they just kept on playing with their plastic guns. And when you're playing with like a full metal field ready gun against plastic guns, it gets kind of boring really, really quick. So it lost its luster to us, and we eventually decided to look elsewhere. So eventually I got the Airsoft GIG 418 carbine because I thought, oh my god, this thing looks like the uh, the Call of Duty M4. It looks like it. Whether or not it does to someone else is debatable. It's your own problem. But when I first uh, when I first got it, I didn't really understand like the point of like entirely like the point of airsoft. I didn't understand a lot about it, like how parts worked and stuff, or even how to take care of an airsoft gun. All I knew about was taking care of like a real gun, like a 22. Um, so eventually, we went out to play. We drove a couple hours away to go to a game where there was like 30 something people, and beforehand the maximum we played with was like 20. But when we heard there was over 30 people playing at an airsoft field that was very big and not in someone's backyard, we like three or four of us got really really excited. So we decided to give it a try. We decided to give it a try. And from that point on, I started taking airsoft a lot more seriously. Uh, I decided, you know what? Instead of playing in like my shorts and t-shirt with a good gun, I think play in I'll play in a uniform, like a combat uniform. Kind of like, well, actually, this is the one I got. Um, and we started going to games like that. It was a lot of fun. It was at the place we called the Gravel Pits, and it's Airsoft Command now. So, I'm still friends with a lot of those players, and just because I live down south, I don't live where I used to. Doesn't mean I don't want to go back up and hang out with them. I plan on doing that in the summer, definitely. So, from that point on, I got inspired to get more and more into airsoft. Like I said, to spend more on my gun and my gear, and it was pretty cool to me. And when I got a car, it was even better because then I could drive out to games without having to find a ride from parents or something. So it became really exciting for us. And eventually once we graduated high school, we once we got into college, it was we started everyone started going their own ways. Um, we some because basically here's what Airsoft Command was. It was basically a large group of airsofters, like 200 plus airsofters. We kind of associate ourselves with teams, but it was more of area based than uh, like actual team recruitment based. So basically, where you lived was like the area where you lived was your team, basically. And so we'd meet up somewhere and we would all play. And it wasn't always 200 plus people, but it was usually 30, 40 people. So, I mean, it became really fun. So, and from that point on, like, we all decided, like, really, really get into airsoft. So we spent even more money. We upgraded even more. We all did even more research. And once I moved for college, I decided I brought all my stuff down with me. And eventually we just decided that I had to find new people to play with. So it started out with like going to like local in Florida. There's indoor airsoft stores. It's like there's actual airsoft fields. In New York State there isn't really. There's like one or two, but you have to go out of your way for them a lot of times. So down here in Florida, I started playing a couple places. Then I talked to someone who was in one of my classes, and turns out he's on an airsoft team. And now, and I was like, oh yeah, you play airsoft and stuff, and he was like, oh yeah, yeah. So we talked and stuff, and now I'm joining their team. So now I'm joining East Coast Tactical Squad. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm in the process of joining. I actually need to switch this camouflage out for multicam, and I have a feeling it's going to be a blast. I've never been to I've never been to an operation before with actual military simulation stuff. So, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's something new, and it sounds like a huge waste of it sounds like a huge way to drop a lot of money, but it should be pretty good. So that's where I'm at right now, and hopefully I encourage other airsofters to share their stories. So if you're watching this and you play airsoft, uh, maybe in response to this video, post your own. I guess I wouldn't mind seeing. Share your story. It's all good. So that's it for this video. Check out my other videos, and I may be posting another one fairly soon. Okay? Have fun. Play safe. Bye.